Welcome back to What Arty Noobs. This is the GW Tiger. It's the Tier 9 German SPG located on the north spawn of Malinovka, and this one is under the command of scymmy. Is it scymmy? I think it's scymmy19. Well, it's a 2 replay video, so let's get on with the first one. Now, the old Malinovka map, as you can see, sparsely populated by trees back then. Fairly easy to actually spot the enemy as you're coming down the hill if you could see between the gaps. So nowadays it's a lot more difficult for the enemy to see you as they're coming down the hill because the trees are much more thicker. Okay, he's ready to go and he's aiming towards the sheds on the other side of the battlefield. And a Panther 88 has decided to stop and take a few shots and suddenly realise he's in danger. Lining up, rounds out, bit of a snap, but it does get 242 hit points and it tracked him, and he had to burn his repair kit to move on. And yes, he did pick up some stun assist, in fact quite a lot of stun assist, because the Panther was hit again. It's quite amazing that people still buy the Panther 88 actually, all things considered, because as a tank it's not that great. It's very thin armour, and even though it's got an 88mm gun instead of a 75, it's got all the vulnerabilities of a Panther, so you really don't want to take that into the front line if you can help it, because it's a long range sniper. Well, he fired the round at the WHEAG1201 GFT, and yes, he's got his kill. So that's his first kill of the day. That's better. I've got the names up now so we can see who the culprits were back then. I think a lot of people have actually been noting that we've been doing old replays, and yes, it's quite refreshing actually to see the old maps and contrast them with today's HD maps. Okay, FB4005. Heshbon rounds out. Hopefully this will go straight past the windmill and into him. Yes, it did. Okay, so we got a direct hit, and because he's actually got the 21cm guns, you can see here, he potentially could have done 1100 hit points of damage to that FB4005. Penetration rate is 53mm, and he's got no premium rounds whatsoever. Oh, look at that. He's missing virtually all of his hit points. And he's gone. And they were still stunned when he was hit. So it looks like scymmy, or we'll call him scymmy, managed to get all the hit points out of that Heshbon. As you know, I don't like calling it the other word, because really I don't think it doesn't look like an outhouse. Some people think it does, but I don't think it does. And I think that vehicle was designed to fire Hesh, therefore it should be called the Heshbon. Rounds out in the E100. Direct hit, 522 hit points. It was a non-penetration, even though it was the sidearm it hit the E100, but as you know, the E100 had side skirts, which actually protect the vehicle to a certain extent from side hits from Arty. Of course, that wouldn't happen in real life. If an Arty got hit by, if a tank got hit by an Arty round, that would be the end of the tank altogether. There wouldn't be anything left except pieces strewn all over the battlefield. Okay, he's trying to get the Maelstrom, but he's trying to make up his mind where the Maelstrom's going to go. He's retreating. Rounds out. This should hit. Oh! Short. Very short. I think I gave that one the kiss of death, actually, that shot, because I said that should hit. It was in line with the Maelstrom, but it just fell too short to get a hit. Now, the standard reload is normally 40.27 seconds with the 21cm, but unfortunately, because we're not using mods on this client, we can't tell you what the exact reload is. Yeah, it's one of the problems with using the Virgin client. You just don't get that sort of information anymore. Rounds out the VK. Lands short again, but this time round he did at least get some stun assist. Well, not stun assist, splash for 174. He's going for that E100 again. In fact, both these guys are together. That could be interesting. He's not going to get a bombardier because obviously they've got too much hit points. But if he can hit one while the other one's alongside, he might be able to get damage from both of them. Oh, VK just took a big hit. Direct hit. Going for the E100. Rounds out. Lands right behind him, so damages the engine deck. He 415 hit points from the hit, and he got some stun assist afterwards. Now, one of the things about the 21cm gun is that it does make you think about where you've got to place the shells. In actual fact, in the real GW Tiger, they only carried 5 rounds of ammunition. They only had space for 5 rounds in the 17cm armed one, and when it was the 21cm armed GW, they only had room for 3 rounds of ammunition. That's all they had. So they had to have a truck or ammunition striker to actually carry the rounds. Oh, E100's gone. So he's got a kill, another kill. Looks like that VK just took another round as well. Yes, having very few rounds. In fact, you only get 15 rounds of ammunition with the GW Tiger with the 21cm in the game. But it does make you think very hard about where you want the shells to go to get the maximum damage, because you haven't got that many of them. You have to make good use. He's only got 7 rounds left now, but he's got no targets in sight at the moment. There's 7 enemies still out there. 3 of those are Arty. We think the VK's in sight, but... oh, there he is. He's pulling back because our guys are coming down the hill. So he's lining up a shot. Rounds out. This looks good. And his shell did hit the target. Or did it stun? No, it's stun assist. So it landed behind the target, but it did stun him, and that enabled him to get some stun assist. That FV4005 is actually hovering on the edge of the lake, and back then it was deep water, so if you do that, you actually fall in, you will drown. That happened to me more than once, actually, I'm afraid. Yes, fell into the deep end because I didn't realise how close to the lake I was, and there was no way I could get out because the sides were too steep back then, and so you did drown. It's one of the few times I actually drowned in an Arty. I was in a Gorilla, the tier 5 German SPG, sitting right next door to that lake, and I fell in. Totally accidental. Absolutely accidental. I regretted it afterwards. I thought, oops, that shouldn't have happened. Well, we're still looking for that VK, but I think they were retreating back down the hill, but the IS-7 has stopped, and that may be because he was taking serious damage, and of course he lost all his teammates. And we've got a Waffenträger over on our side of the battlefield, but the guard's coming down to try and help the IS-7 by spotting the enemy tanks. The trouble is, there's those 2 snipers, the Scorpion G and the FP4005, and well, if he gets too close, he's likely to get hit. And look at that, a T-49's found our Waffenträger. And although the enemy RT probably would like to get a kill on that Waffenträger if they can help it, but, well, we've put a round onto their T-49. Their RT has just hit the Waffenträger. And there goes the T-49. He's a kill for our 212A. So the scores are still even, so this could go either way. And Skimmy has now got, I think it's Skimmy, we'll call him Skimmy. Skimmy has now only got 5 rounds left, so he's running short on ammo. They've got 6 tanks and he's got 5 rounds, so he's only going to be able to kill 5 of them. Even if he wanted to get all of them, he's not going to be able to unless they crowd together and he can get a bombardier. The guard's moving up through the water towards the Scorpion G and the FP4005, so it might be a good idea for Skimmy to change his aim to where the Scorpion G and the Heshbarn were last seen, because they might still be there. And if the guard sees them, then he can get a pre-aim shot in. one of the ways that you get very, very quick shots on the enemy is because you work out where they're going to be at any one particular time. 212A, he's not fully dialed in. Rounds out. He's fired anyway. Well, he did stun the 212A, and he also got damage to the track. So, and the kill shot comes in from the guard. So he got something out of that round. But now he's only got 4 rounds left, and there's 5 enemies. So this is quite a long battle. Oh, there's the Heshbon. And he's right on the water's edge, exactly where he was last seen. Unfortunately, the VK has managed to kill our guard, so we've lost our spotter and the Waffenträger's moved down to do it instead. But we might be able to put a round onto that FV4005, and he fires a round in. All 3 Arty fire at the same area, and I suspect one of those rounds might have damaged the Heshbon, but probably not killed it. Well, definitely not killed it. Waffenträger's moved over the water to the other side because he wants to get some height to spot the enemy. Lorraine's moving towards the enemy. 212's not. Scymmy doesn't need to move because he's actually a very slow Arty. If he does move, it's going to take him some time to get to the other end. Although it would shorten his shell flight time, which means he'd get better reaction. 3 shells left. Oh, enemy Arty spotted. Rounds out. Here we go. Oh, yes, he got a kill. He's taken out the FB3805, the Tier 9 British SPG. Direct hit. 3 kills now. But he's only got 2 rounds left, and there's still 4 enemy out there. This is definitely coming down to the wire, because there's only 3 minutes and 20 seconds left now. Oh dear. So he's going to have to pace himself on these last 2 rounds. Something which obviously a lot of Arty players may have actually come across is if you run down your credits till you get to virtually nothing, and you have a battle and you only have less than 10,000 credits left, you may have noticed that sometimes your vehicle won't repair at the end and it won't resupply all its ammunition because you are very, very close to running out of credits. And under those circumstances, oh, they found the VK. Under those circumstances, can he get the kill here? He might be able to. Rounds out. Yes, he does. So second to last round, he gets a kill, so he's now up to 4. Yes, if you run short on ammo, you might find that when you go into battle next, you might have short loaded. And that could be very embarrassing because you might actually enter a battle with only bare minimum or less than your normal load. And, well, that leaves you short on ammo for the rest of the game. And I'm not particularly proud of the fact that just recently I actually did that. I short-loaded one of my Arty because I played a good battle in it, but it didn't reload all of the shells, and then when I went into the next game I only had half the number of shells I should normally have, simply because it didn't resupply. Mind you, I did actually make the best use of the shells that I did have, and I actually came out at the end of the battle as the highest scoring Arty in the game, and there goes the IS-7. No, that's the FB4005, sorry, killed by the IS-7. But our IS-7 was killed by their Scorpion. So now there's only 2 enemies left and there's 4 of us. But Scymmy has still got, or Scymmy has only got 1 round of ammo left. There's the Scorpion. And there's the last minute hooter. Can he get the kill? He's lining it up, trying to get... Oh, no, his teammate gets the kill. The 212A gets it. So we need to see the last enemy, which is a GW Tiger P, and he's probably in the bushes. Where is he? Looking for the tracer. He might be in the corner. He's going to fire around speculatively. Oh my god, he got it! Last round of ammunition with 23 seconds, a blind shot, a Hail Mary into the corner of the map, and the GW Tiger P was there. That was a fantastic end to the battle with only 16 seconds left on the clock right at the end. Let's have a look at the second battle and see how that one gets on. And the second replay is also the GW Tiger, but this time round it's on the Mines map, and it's Bojovnik351 in the GW Tiger on the South Spawn. Again, you can see that virtually nothing's changed, except of course over in this corner of the map there's much fewer bushes, lots more cover over here than there was back then. The buildings are slightly bigger, obviously they did offer some cover, but nowadays we're much better off with all the trees, and you can play Guess the Bush, or you know, the old game of in which spot the P. Guess which I've forgotten this. Is it the tin game or the P game or the? Well, it's the game where you try to guess which cup the P is under. Somebody will tell me which one. I've forgotten the name, but it's the old confidence trick, isn't it? To try to work out where it is. Oh, first shot goes in and he hits 3 enemy tanks all together at the same time. Waffenträger, Scorpion G and a YHEAG Tiger. Waffenträger took the biggest hit because, of course... Oh, no, actually, it's the Scorpion G that took the biggest hit. The Waffenträger was hiding next to the rock for 443. The Scorpion was the one who actually took the hit for 603. And the YHEAG Tiger 210 simply because he was near. So he made a lot of use of that first shell, but we've already lost our first player, the T49. Okay, he's loaded. Oh, the Waffenträger pulls out, and this could be very bad for him because Waffenträger... Oh, Reticule Bloom at the wrong moment. That always seems to happen. Rounds out on the Waffenträger. And he's got his first kill. Yep, Waffenträgers have got no armor, so if you hit them, they die. Full penetrating shot. It's paper thin, actually. They say armor, but a Waffenträger has got paper thin armor. It's only basically designed to stop machine gun bullets. It's not designed to stop a 21 centimeter shell. And that's another reason why I feel that Wargaming are making a huge mistake not giving the full value for the damage to any armor piercing shell under these new changes. You should be giving the full value for the same equivalent caliber, because remember, our shells are coming in from above. They're hitting the top armor of these tanks, not the side armor or the front armor. They're coming in from above and they're hitting the armor at this weakest spot right on top of the tank. And if you hit something with a 21 centimeter shell, an armor piercing shell, even if it's going slightly slower than an armor piercing shell from a tank destroyer, it should still almost completely wipe out the target. And therefore I object most strongly to the fact that they're only giving the M53, M55 500 hit points of damage from an armor piercing instead of the full cream of 1050, or more correctly, something closer to the amount of damage that a 15 centimeter shell should do from armor piercing, which would be 750 alpha. It's really criminal that they're only giving it 500. It's ridiculously low. Remember, this is a very high caliber weapon hitting the top armor of a tank, and he's hit the Pershing for 570 with a non-penetrating shot. An armor piercing round should do a hell of a lot of damage. And the sheer size of those shells alone, they should blow the tank to smithereens, but I do object most strongly that they're not giving these tanks enough hit points or alpha damage from the armor piercing. Okay, he was thinking about going to that corner where the enemy tanks normally hide, but that Pershing's about to die. If he dials in and fires in, he's going to get a kill. And he didn't even need to look. He knew that that one was going to hit the target. Although I normally suggest they do stick with it and see what actually happens and where the shell does hit the target, because we do like to see that. It's important to actually see it. Well, the enemy team seems to be advancing quite strongly into our territory. They've gone past the centre line. They've captured the hill. And we're trying to fend them off. We've got a T110E5 who's tracked at the moment. Now he's not, but he's about to get hit by a very large caliber shell. Rounds out. Oh! Well, that's what happens when you get reticule bloom, and we did get reticule bloom there. I think he did get it. He wasn't able to get his reticule down in size quickly enough to get that E5. Now, can he do this E5 instead? By the way, those E5s are using one of Sir Rusty's skins. I recognise them. Okay, T28 prototype. He's going to try and hit that one in the side. He's got fairly weak armour. Lining it up. Wait for it. Oh, goes into cover. Just pull back. That's it. Jedi mind trick. Direct hit. 399. It worked. It's always funny when Klaus says that, you know, Jedi mind trick. You want to go left. You want to go left. And then they go left and he shoots them. But actual fact, he does know, because he remembers before he does the video. He knows that there's next to it. But it's still funny all the same. It's like the old joke we used to do when we were firing at a blind target, which we previously spotted at that point. We would say, is he still there? And then we'd fire the round in. Yes, he is! And that T5's just took a hit for 420. Now, Bojovnik has actually armed himself with 2 rounds of premium ammo. He's still got 4 of standard. And he's now got 2 kills. Can he get some more? We're 2 tanks down, 2 kills down on the enemy at the moment. Now we're 3 down. Okay, he's knows that there's a Yag Tiger up there, but he's reluctant to fire because he's got such short load of ammunition left. 6 rounds to kill 8 enemies. That E5 that was over or near the side should be coming around that corner. Ah, now we've got an E3. Oh, there's the E5, yes. He did come around, but he's been blown out of existence by an OHO. Oh, no, this is interesting. FP4202, which might have good armour against enemy tank fire, but not against Arty. Rounds out. Direct hit. So he's going to be pretty sore right now. But that means 5 rounds left now. That T28's been spotted in the centre. And we've lost sight of him again. They're saying the RT's hitting them from the A1 box. Okay, so he must be out in the water behind the rock. And we've just lost another tank, so we're still 3 down on the enemy. There's the T28. He's getting a lot of red lines when he's trying to shoot close, but that's obviously because the building is getting in the way. As you try to shoot closer, the aim gets shallow, and when you get shallow aim, obviously obstructions do get in the way. There's the FP4202, and he's virtually out of hit points, so that direct impact must have hurt him a lot. Okay, he's looking for the tracer. Now, you know the Arty player's trick. Oh, just saw the tracer there. There he is. Exactly there. Rounds out. And he's got him. But he has been spotted. And so he has to get into cover now, because there's, although there's no Arty left, if he stays out in the open, one of those enemy tanks is going to take him out. He's got 4 rounds left. There's now 5 enemies alive. This is really getting quite close. There's only 3 left in his team. There goes another enemy. So it's now 4 left on the enemy team. Their IS-3 is very low health. Just notice that he's very, very low health. He might be able to catch that guy just as he comes over the rise. Okay, that's what I think he's going to try and do that. He might come up that ramp, just where that bush is. T-28, here we go. Can you get him? Very low hit points, that guy. Wait until you see the whites of their eyes and let them have it. Here we go. Oh, we got him! That's his 4th kill. He's now got 3 rounds left. And there's 3 enemies out there. He could do this. Okay, the Yak Tiger's coming to sight. He's low on hit points as well. But the WHEAG1201 GFT makes certain of him. So he's got 2 premium rounds and 1 standard round. This could be very interesting. Okay, T-28, you want to go right. You want to go right. He's aiming at the WHEAG120, but the 120 is getting close to the wall. Our T-28's trying to get a shot on him as well. We still can't see that Striv S1 somewhere. He must be around somewhere. Can't believe he went up there and he stayed up on that plateau for the whole game. Here we go. Can he get it? Aim slightly to the left. I think he's having a difficulty because he's trying to fire over obstructions. Well, he's tried to splash him and it didn't work. So now he's only got 2 premium rounds left for 2 enemies. You know, he could shotgun that T-28 in the rear if he drove up behind him. The T-28's getting close. Doesn't want to go over the cliff because it would make him vulnerable to a shot from the T-28. Bojovnik is going in. He's taken his brave pills and pulled up his underpants and said, right, okay, I'm going to do this. Or his big boy's pants, I should say. He's going to give this T-28 something to remember. He's about to get an enema, 21 centimeter. And it worked! The T-28 fired around at him, but didn't get the kill, and he shotgunned the T-28 in the ass. And he's now got 1 round left, and there's that Striv. He's not too far away. Oh, we've just lost the T-28. So it's 1-on-1, Arty versus Striv. Oh God, what an ending this would be. 2 minutes left in the game, 2 minutes 15 seconds. The Striv is getting close. Don't get too close to the bushes because then they will spot you, and if they do, they will fire at you. Here comes the Striv. That's it, let him come around the corner. He's close. Yes! Kills the Striv, wins the game. Arty rules again and gets a Top Gun on top of all that. Well done to Bojovnik351. And here's the first battle in scymmy19 in the GW Tiger on Malinovka. He managed to get an ace tanker in that game. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He managed to get 15. He got a fighter badge for getting at least 4 kills. He got 5 in the end, 1 short of getting a Top Gun. And also 1/3 of the enemy team. He got a Gauls medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And yes, by getting the last kill of the game with his last shot, he ended up with a Faden's medal for killing the last enemy with the last round in his magazine. What a fantastic end to the game. Let's have a look at the team score and see where he came. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in the game because that went to the IS-7 who didn't survive, but he got 4,553 hit points of damage. Scymmy actually came second on damage with 4,403 hit points, and the third highest damage was the Scorpion on the enemy team with 4,045. When it came to kills though, it was Scymmy who managed to get 5 kills in that game. The Scorpion managed to get 4 and the Heshbarn managed to get 3. And when it came to base XP, he's got the top in that one as well. 1,273. So 2 out of 3 on the scoreboard that he got the top. And the only one he missed out on was the top damage, but that's only by a small amount. The IS-7 got the higher caliber by only 150 hit points in total. Let's have a look at the detail. 15 shots fired, all 15 rounds, 6 direct hits, 6 penetration, 9 splash. 4,403 hit points of damage, all of it done at more than 300. He damaged 10 of the enemy, so 2/3 of the team were hit by him and 5 of them were killed by him. 183 hit points of damage assistance and 2,295 hit points of stun assist off 10 stuns. It'll be very difficult to get that sort of stun assist if Wargaming makes the changes that they're suggesting, because of course they're reducing the amount of time on stun and the amount of stun generally, which means of course that you won't be able to get the assist anymore. 67,976 credits from the game. 31,200 for his ammunition resupply, because remember he used only standard ammo throughout that game. 36,776 credits profit from the entire game, not bad. 1,910 XP, no multipliers, so that's all the experience points he took away. But I think people will remember this game not just for the fact that he got the Fadens and the Gauls, but mainly for that last shot. It was a guess, a total guess, that the enemy was hiding in the corner. So he aimed for the corner of the map, and yes, the GW Tiger P was hiding there, and he took him out with the last round with the clock ticking down. There was only 23 seconds left when he fired, 16 seconds left on the clock when the game finally finished after the announcement of the result. So a very impressive game by Scymmy. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. Let's have a look at the second battle. And that was Bojovnik351 in the GW on the Mines map. And he also got an ace tanker in that game. A bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one he got 21. He also managed to get a Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points for his own vehicle. He got a Fadens medal because he took out the last enemy, the Striv S1, with his last shot, as well as a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills, and the 6th kill was that Striv, and a high caliber for dealing the most damage in the game. I think it was a very impressive game, anyone's book. Let's have a look at the team score. Highest damage, 6,012 hit points of damage. I defy anyone to try and get that sort of damage by Arty once Wargaming makes the changes. I think it'll be impossible for you to get over 5,000 because, of course, they're reducing the damage overall. When it came to the next highest scorer, that was the E5 on the enemy team, 4,975, and after that it was the T28 with 3,387. When it came to kills, he had the highest number of those with 6, which is 2/5 of the enemy team. 3 kills went to the IS-3 and also the Striv S1 on the enemy team. That guy was coming in. He was working, he was doing damage, but he wasn't doing much. And he came in a little overconfidently to try and take out Bojovnik. And of course, Bojovnik got the better of him with a nice little shotgun. And when it came to base XP, yes, he's got that one as well, 1,287. So he's got the top in all 3 columns. 1,199 went to that T28 who survived right until the end, and the S1 managed to get him. And also the Wizzy 1201 GFT did very well. He got 1,093 throughout that game. Last man alive was the Arty. He fired all 15 rounds, got 11 direct hits and 11 penetrations on the enemy. 7 splash as well, 6,012 hit points of damage, of which 5,599 were at more than 300 meters. Obviously the close ones were the shots that he fired, one into the butt of a T28 prototype and the other one right into the face of a Striv S1. He did receive a hit. It was from the T28 prototype. It was a bit difficult for the T28 prototype to miss him, but of course it was a little too late for him to do anything about it because a 21cm shell then put him out of the game the next second. 10 enemy vehicles were damaged, 6 were killed, 146 hit points of stun assist off 12 stuns. On a premium account he earned 65,880 credits, and after repair and ammunition resupply took away 10,586 credits profit. You earn 1,931 XP, times 2 for the first victory, 291 for playing in the platoon, and took away 4,152 experience points altogether. So I think really of the pair of them, that was the more exciting game, the one on Mines, although it was still a miraculous shot by Scymmy to actually take out that GW Tiger hiding in a bush in the corner of the map. How he worked that one out, I don't know, because I don't know if I would have fired at that spot, but he certainly did and thought, yeah, it's worth it. I've got nothing to lose. I might as well fire it in. And he put it just where it would count for his team. Otherwise, they would have had to accept a draw. But yeah, that was a pretty exciting game by Bojovnik to end up with a Phaeton's Medal, a Top Gun, and a high caliber. And even my bird thinks that's impressive. Yes, he's chirping in the background. So I hope you enjoyed that replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.